Wow, no, right-wingers want to go after legal immigrants that come to the United States, people with visas and stuff. It's like they claim that they hate illegal immigration, but in reality, they just hate any brown people coming to the United States.
End it. We're going to stop it. A couple things. Yep.
We can't feed them. Why should we? Why should we help people that need help? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, wow, these people to show how racist they are. They're supposed to be like compassionate Christians, yet they don't want to even help their neighbors from across the border because they're brown people. And it's like that's just so insane. It's people that are trying to escape violence and stuff or some kind of bad issues in their own nation and want to come to the United States so that they can actually have safety and, have a life.
Well, no, I think it's a great point. I mean, you literally have so when the war broke out in Israel, Hamas-Israel war, and I'm the governor of Florida. We have a relationship with Israel. I've got Israeli Americans in large numbers. I've got other folks that go back and forth. So I knew it was going to be a big issue for our state. So I was trying to figure out, okay, what does this mean? Well, a couple days go by. Biden, State Department, Embassy weren't helping Americans flee the war zone. So they were desperate. So I did an executive order in Florida. We scrambled planes and we rescued over 700 people and brought them back to the United States of America. I didn't charge them for it. I didn't do that. It was something that in a time of crisis, you got to step up and lead. Now,
In a time of crisis, you gotta step up and lead, at which he's talking about like helping people that need help. Okay, uh, it's coming through the asylum border are seeking help. They're asylum seekers asking for the United States for protection. Okay, Ron DeSantis, why don't you step up and show that you're willing to help these people and give them some protections?
what Biden was doing after that is they were dumping people in Greece, and then people had to get home from Greece on their own. But they were sending a bill to the Americans who they dumped in Greece. And I'm thinking to myself,
Is that even real or true? I mean, it seems outlandish.
if you come across the border illegally, they'll put you on a plane, they'll fly you all across this country, no charge. They will
I mean, yeah, like Greg Abbott, who's been busing and flying migrants across the nation.
put you in hotels, no charge to the illegal, and you're paying the bill. Yet an American citizen fleeing a war situation gets a bill sent to them. Talk about putting the American people last. What a joke this.
I mean, honestly, our government has always put American people last, unless you're an American person with a corporation and have tons of, and then you're put first. It's funny how he wants to complain about uh, poor people being put first above other poor people, but has no issue with, rich people constantly being put first compared to any other poor person.
Is. But yeah, you're right. I mean, part of it is the sheer number of people. We cannot have mass migration in this country, whether it was legal or illegal. It's too many people.
We got too many legal immigrants coming into the United States. We can't sustain them working for construction jobs and doing fast food work and other things that help sustain our businesses. It's like, wow, this is really, really ignorant, honestly. Like, anytime a state becomes really strict on immigration, it becomes detrimental to that state, like Florida, which is now having problems with construction because there's a lot of migrants that come in and do construction jobs or farm work. Like when Arizona got really strict on immigration during the Obama administration, and then they couldn't have any farms being harvested. They tried using inmates. That didn't work, so they reversed their policy on immigration to allow migrants to come in and work the farms. Um, it is pretty hilarious how a lot of these red states are highly dependent upon migrant workers to come in and like pick the farms and do construction work, yet they're willing to discriminate against them in uh, at the detriment to their own economy.
You can't have a health, poses burdens on hospitals, on education, on criminal justice. Millions and millions of people pouring in, it doesn't work. And so, yes, we're going to.
Actually, migrants are less likely to commit crimes compared to Americans. So actually, migrants in and working and paying taxes and stuff without being able to reap the same kind of benefits as Americans actually benefits the United States. But right wingers, being racist, cannot understand that.
Stop that 100%. But we're also going to look at what's happened in Europe and all these other places where they've imported people who don't want to assimilate into their society. You look at what's happening on these college campuses. We have kids on foreign.
Oh, blah, blah, blah. These people don't want to be Americans. These people want to celebrate their own culture. These people want to live their lives and enjoy their own freedom, but they don't want to act like Americans, so we can't have them. It's like, that is pretty, that is a pretty idiotic argument. Hey, these people won't assimilate and act like how we want them to act, so they can't be allowed in the United States. That's pretty idiotic coming from a group of people who claim to be all about freedom. If you're for freedom, then you should be for people moving into the United States and enjoying what they want to enjoy. I mean, if these people are paying taxes, working, and being functioning members of society, then why do you care what type of food they eat, like how they dress and stuff like that? You shouldn't expect them to be exactly like you are.
Foreign student visas that are protesting in favor of Hamas. I'm sorry, you don't have a right to study here as a foreigner. It's a privilege. And if you're going to use that privilege to make common cause with Hamas as president, I'm canceling your visa and I'm sending you home.
Well, if you use your freedom of speech to talk about stuff that I don't like, then I'm going to be racist and send you home. That's so idiotic. I mean, just because you uh, protest in favor of the Palestinian people doesn't mean you're in support of Hamas. That is idiotic to claim, but this is how people are. If you support the Palestinian people, then somehow you're automatically in favor of Hamas, which you can be against Hamas, you know, being an extremist, anti-freedom terroristic group of people, as well as be against the Israeli government who's committing genocide. But people like Ron DeSantis cannot understand that, which is pretty funny. Ron DeSantis is more than likely a Christian Zionist, and Christian Zionists, they don't even actually care about Jewish people. All they want to see is the end of the world happen and Jewish people be converted or killed off.
I'm not going to deal with this. We don't need to. Life's too short. People that want to come to this country, nobody has a right, like they were talking about bringing in refugees from the Gaza Strip. I said no.
Yeah, people who come to the United States, they have no rights whatsoever. Blah blah blah. We get to enslave anybody who comes to the United States because that's the United States.
No. Why would we want to import the problems from the Gaza Strip into the United States? Is that good for you as an American? Is it good for?
I guess that means we can't allow, Israeli Jewish people into the United States if we don't want to import the problems of Gaza into the United States. I mean, this dude is stupid and he's saying some of the most ignorant stuff.
Of course it's not. That's part of an agenda. So we're not going to do this.
What agenda are you even talking about?
People that want, if anyone comes to this country, they have to accept the founding ideals and principles of our country, and they have to be.
So the founding principles of the United States is to support a government committing a genocide no matter what they do. Like, I never saw that in the Constitution.
Willing to assimilate into this country. And if you're not willing to do that, then fine. We're just not going to deal.